Ever wondered if, behind the modern and bustling Illinois, home to Chicago, there are small towns that have nearly vanished from the map? Towns that once thrived because of mining, railroads, or major rivers, but now only leave behind empty houses, quiet streets, and shadows of the past. Some of these towns could even be called living ghosts. People still live there, but it feels like another world. Others are just downright strange, with stories you won't find in any regular atlas. This time, we're exploring 15 of the most remote, run-down, and unique towns in Illinois. Ready to discover the dark, silent, yet oddly fascinating side of the Prairie State? Imagine a town in Illinois, but to get there, you actually have to go through Missouri first. That's Kaskaskia, the only town in Illinois trapped on the western side of the Mississippi River due to a shift in the river's course back in the 19th century. Once, Kaskaskia was Illinois' first capital, a center of politics and trade. But now, its population is 23 people, quiet, deserted, and nearly forgotten. Kaskaskia is like a symbol of how history can completely flip a place's fate, from a peak of glory to a remote village that feels more like a ghost town than a former state capital. If Kaskaskia faded because the river changed course, Cairo's story is different. This town was once a star, standing tall at the meeting point of the Ohio and Mississippi rivers. Its strategic location made it a booming hub for riverboats and railroads. But today, the picture is very different. From thousands of residents in its heyday, only about 1,500 remain. Even worse, the poverty rate sits around 21 to 23%, almost double the state average. Life still exists here, but the vibe leans more toward ghost town than the once promising city it was supposed to be. From Cairo's slow fade into silence, we move on to East Street, Lewis, a city that's still breathing, but struggling. If Cairo is quiet, East Street, Louis is loud, but not with laughter or market buzz, rather with police sirens and crime reports. This city once thrived along the Mississippi River, a center for steel, railroads, and industry. But when the factories left, all that remained were the echoes of its prime. Today, many blocks are empty, homes abandoned, murals fading. Its population is still in the tens of thousands, but East St. Louis is often labeled one of the most dangerous cities in America. It's not a ghost town. It's alive, rough, scarred, and a reminder of how prosperity can collapse, leaving behind a long trail of pain. From the harshness of East Street, Lewis, the journey along the Mississippi River takes us to Chester, a small town with a unique side. While East Street, Lewis is associated with crime, Chester is known for something much lighter. It's the hometown of Popeye the Sailor. Right on its main street, there's a large statue of Popeye that stands as the town's icon. But behind that, Chester also carries a bittersweet story. The population is only about 6,700, And since the limestone industry and small factories declined, many of the younger generation have chosen to leave. The town is still alive, but it feels caught between cartoon nostalgia and a tough economic reality. Chester is like a living comic strip. There's a smile, but also a deep quiet. From Chester, still clinging to its Popeye identity, we head further north to Galena, a town that once shone brightly, but now feels like a grand stage with the lights turned off. In the 19th century, Galena was the largest lead mining center in Illinois and was even more prosperous than Chicago for a time. Imagine a small town that once powered the region's economy. But when the mines ran dry, the prosperity vanished with them. Today, Galena is home to just around 3,200 people. Its old red brick buildings and cobblestone streets still stand, frozen in time. Tourists still come looking for that charm, but for locals, living in Galena means surviving in a beautiful town that's lost its heartbeat. Stunning on the outside, quiet on the inside. Next, we head down the Mississippi River to a small town steeped in religious history, Nauvoo. The name might sound unfamiliar, but in the 19th century, Nauvoo was once at the center of attention in America. This town was home to thousands of Mormons before they were driven out and continued their journey westward. That historical legacy still lingers. Old buildings, churches, and monuments stand like witnesses to a turbulent past. Today, Nauvoo is home to only about 911 people. Life here is quiet, maybe too quiet, like an open-air museum that only gets busy when tourists come around. Beneath its beauty, there's a sense of stillness that makes Nauvoo feel more like a preserved relic than a modern-day place to live. This one is quite interesting. McClure is a town you barely ever hear about. This small town in Alexander County is home to just a few hundred people, and it's tucked away on the edge of the Mississippi River. The road into town is narrow, surrounded by woods and swamps, which often make flooding a regular threat. Many old houses here are barely standing, with some clearly abandoned. Walking through McClure feels like stepping into a town that got left off the modern map of Illinois. There's no crowd, no major tourist attraction, just full life, quietly holding on while the outside world rarely looks this way. The journey continues to Pulaski, a small town in southern Illinois where time seems to move more slowly. Its population doesn't even reach 200, and many old wooden houses stand with paint slowly fading. Pulaski was once a key stop along the railroad, but now it's mostly just quiet tracks and old buildings barely touched. Interestingly, this town carries a small-town America feel that's almost disappeared. Empty main roads, small stores that stay open just to meet basic needs. Pulaski isn't a ghost town, but it definitely feels far removed from the buzz of modern Illinois. It lives simply, wrapped in a silence that fills nearly every corner. From quiet Pulaski, we head west across Illinois to a small spot on the Illinois River called Pearl. This town feels more like a long village stretched along the highway than a real city. There aren't many people, just a few hundred, and most live simple lives, gardening, day labor, or commuting out of town to make a living. There are remnants of old buildings, a tiny gas station, and wooden signs with peeling paint. Pearl seems to show a side of Illinois that rarely gets seen. Not tall buildings or big universities, but a life that moves slowly, almost unchanged. Here, the busiest moments might come from trucks rumbling by, kicking up dust before the silence settles back in. From the quiet riverside of Pearl, winding roads lead us to Hillview, a tiny town tucked between the hills of Greene County. The name Hillview sounds lovely, but in reality, the town feels more like a forgotten place. With only a few hundred residents, many homes sit empty with yards overgrown, and the main road is silent, except for the occasional passing of an old car. In the past, Hillview served as a small hub for farming and logging communities, but now even that legacy has nearly faded. Walking through, it feels like a town that stopped growing decades ago. Quiet, fragile, but still holding on to the last bits of life. Then there's Nebo. This town in Pike County now has a population of only about 274 people, a sharp drop from its livelier days. Nebo once served as a stopover for farmers and traders, but when the railroad line disappeared, so did much of its economic heartbeat. The average household income in Pike County sits around $55,000, below the Illinois average, and poverty still lingers over a town this small. Its main street remains, but many of the shops are closed, leaving behind faded buildings and old wooden signs. We move next to Benld, a small town in McClure County that was once known for its coal mining. Today, the population is around 1,400, much smaller than it was during its heyday when miners filled the town. Traces of that former prosperity still linger faintly, but the town is now more often remembered for something bitter. In 2009, a minor earthquake struck the area, damaging the elementary school so badly it had to be shut down for good. Economically, Benld has also felt the strain. Median household income is below the state average, and the poverty rate sits above 20%. From Benld, which has felt the sting of lost glory, the journey takes us to Wilmington, a small town in Will County. Unlike Benld or Nebo, Wilmington still has a more stable sense of life, with a population of around 5,900 people. Still, the town feels small and somewhat remote when compared to the bustle of Chicago, just a few dozen miles away. Its economy is modest. The median household income is around $64,000, slightly below the state average, and the poverty rate still hovers around 7 to 8%. From Wilmington, still alive but quiet, we head to Colchester, a small town in McDonough County. Its population is now about 1,100 people, and the vibe clearly reflects rural Illinois life, far from the spotlight. Colchester used to be busy thanks to coal mining and the railroad, which fueled the local economy, but now many buildings are empty and small shops have closed. The main street is quiet, with only the occasional sound of a passing car. Even so, the people who remain continue on, living simply, staying close to nature, and keeping the town's slow rhythm. Colchester stands as an example of how small towns in Illinois still exist, even as time and the economy reshape their faces. Heading south, we arrive in Burnt Prairie, a tiny town that feels like it's almost vanished from the map of Illinois. Its population is only about 300 people, and the atmosphere here is truly remote. Narrow roads are surrounded by open fields, old houses stand far apart, and sometimes the only sound is the wind passing through. This town once survived on simple farming, but now most residents are just holding on to a quiet life and a slow pace. Burnt Prairie is like a symbol of Illinois' hidden small towns, nearly forgotten, yet still holding stories for anyone who passes through.